Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Jam. And today we're diving into something that a lot of people feel, but not a lot of people know how to explain. Today's episode is called High Frequency Conversations Aren't for Low Frequency Minds. And before anyone gets defensive, this isn't about thinking you're better than someone else. This is about awareness, energy, and alignment. Because the truth is, not every conversation is meant for every person. Some people are operating on a completely different wavelength. And if you've ever tried to talk about growth, purpose, mindset, or vision with someone, and they instantly shut it down, change the subject, or start joking about it, then you already know exactly what I'm talking about. So today we're going to break it down. What high frequency conversations actually are, why some people can't handle them, and why protecting your energy and your conversations is one of the most important things you can do. Enjoy the show. Okay, when we talk about frequency, we're not talking about something that's mystic or scientific or abstract. Frequency is just another way of describing mental and emotional energy. Think about it like this. Every person carries a vibration based on their mindset, their habits, their emotional state, and their level of awareness. Some people operate from growth, curiosity, discipline, vision, accountability. All of those are high frequency states. Other people, on the other hand, operate from blame, negativity, insecurity, gossip, victim mentality. Now, those are all low frequency states. And here's the important part. Your conversations usually match your frequency. If someone is constantly focused on drama, complaining, talking about other people, their conversations are going to stay right there. But someone focused on building something, improving themselves, and understanding life deeper, their conversations are going to be completely different. High frequency conversations are the ones that expand your thinking. These are conversations about things like personal growth, business ideas, purpose, psychology, philosophy, discipline, health, legacy, creativity, problem solving, so on and so forth. It's the type of conversation where two people leave smarter than when they walked in. You know those talks where you start talking for 20 minutes, then suddenly it's been hours. That's high frequency exchange. Nobody is competing. Nobody is tearing down ideas. You're building, exploring, and elevating each other's thinking. Those conversations are powerful because conversations literally shape how we see the world. Now here's where things get interesting. Not a lot of people can participate in those conversations. Not because they're unintelligent, but because they're operating in a different mental space. High frequency conversations, they require a few things. Number one, self-awareness. You have to be able to look at yourself honestly. A lot of people avoid that. Number two, accountability. Growth conversations often involve recognizing your own mistakes and limitations. Low frequency thinking avoids responsibility. Number three, being open-minded. High frequency discussions challenges your beliefs. If someone is emotionally attached to being right, they'll shut down. Number four, vision. If someone only thinks about today, they struggle to talk about the future. That's why when you start talking about ideas and goals and deeper topics, some people immediately respond with things like, man, that's too deep, or you think too much, or it's not that serious, or they start joking just so they can avoid the conversation. That's not random. That's a frequency mismatch. Now here's where a lot of people get frustrated. Because when you start growing mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, you naturally want to talk about different things. But sometimes the people around you are still comfortable in low-level conversations. So every time you talk about goals, mindset, learning, building something, the conversation dies. Or worse, they try to make you feel weird for thinking that way. And that's when people start feeling like, why can't I connect with people the same way anymore? The answer is simple. Your frequency has changed. And not everybody around you change with it. One of the biggest lessons you'll learn in life is this: who you talk to matters. Conversations feed your brain. Think about it. If all your daily conversations are about complaining, gossip, problems with no solutions, negativity, eventually your brain gets trained to live in that environment. But if you surround yourself with people who talk about ideas, growth, strategy, discipline, solutions, your thinking expands, your mindset evolves, and your standards rise. That's why successful people are very intentional about who they talk to, because they understand that conversations are their mental food, their mental nutrition. Now let's address something important. Operating at a higher frequency doesn't mean you're better than someone else. It just means you're in different stages of awareness. Everyone grows at different speeds. Some people are focused on survival right now. Some people are focused on comfort right now. Some people are focused on growth. Different stages, different priorities. The problem only happens when people try to pull you backwards instead of respecting where you are. Growth requires distance from certain environments sometimes. Not hate, not arrogance, just alignment. The beautiful thing about raising your frequency is this: eventually you start finding people. People who think like you, people who question things, people who want more from life than just existing, people who enjoy conversations that actually mean something. And when those conversations happen, they feel natural. You don't have to force them. You don't have to explain why you care about growth. You don't have to shrink your ideas. You're just on the same wavelength, and that's powerful. So as we wrap things up, if you've ever felt like certain conversations just don't land with certain people, don't take it personal. Sometimes it's not about intelligence. Sometimes it's not even about effort. Sometimes it's simply about frequency. High frequency conversations require openness, growth, awareness, and curiosity. And not everyone is ready for that yet. But if you're someone who loves those deeper conversations and those deeper discussions, who enjoys learning, who enjoys expanding your mind, then protect that. Seek out people who operate on that wavelength, because the right conversation can literally change the direction of your life. That's all I have for you on this episode of Jam the Podcast. If this episode resonated with you, make sure you share it with someone who loves deep conversations too. And remember, keep your conversations real, keep thinking elevated, and keep the mindset growing. If not, you may be jammed. Thanks for listening.